It's Slim. I'm back again. Another episode of Sit Down with Slim. And we got one of your favorite guests back again. Introduce yourself now.
Jon Blu.
Back again with it, Mr. Blue. Hey, dog, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Dog, when you got 3 letters for your first name and 3 letters for your last name, somebody ain't think you could spell your name, bro. So when you was in kindergarten, everybody was learning how to spell their names and tracing them out in cursive and shit. You was just happy as hell, like you had the cheat code, ain't it?
It was too easy.
Bruh, you hilarious, Blue.
Nah, man, you hilarious.
Nah, bruh, you funny as fuck, Blue. Man, what we got on the docket, Blue? What we got on the docket? This the Blue Show.
What I really want to talk about today, for everybody that's tuning in, I want to talk about college football, the playoff system.
Dun 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 dun. Dum dum.
The thing is, see, I'm a Georgia boy. Born and raised, been here majority of my life. And so
DSBG. I said that wrong.
It's all good.
DSGB.
But the thing is, here's the thing, Slim. We've been getting robbed for the last 10 to 20 years, man. First, we got robbed with Mark Richt. Mark Richt robbed us. All that talent. AJ Green, no Sean Marino, and the quarterback who played for the Lions. Now, I can't think of his name right now. Matt Stafford. And we don't win the championship. You see what he doing in Miami? Nothing. All right? I'm glad we got rid of him. As soon as we got rid of him, we started competing for championships. Like 1 year. Didn't take long at all. That's how you know he just throw him in the garbage. Trash. All right? Pass up on Cam Newton. Pass up on Deshaun Watson. Both of those guys are doing numbers in the NFL, by the way. But he's gone. So let's move on past that. What I want to point out is that we got robbed this year. And I'm not complaining about Oklahoma because they got probably the best quarterback in college football in Murray. He's probably the best quarterback in college football. He can run it. He can throw it. I mean, he can do numbers. Salute to him. We got robbed by Notre Dame. All right. Notre Dame is the definition of Garbage. All right. I'm not going to say they're complete garbage because obviously they went undefeated, so they had to be good. They had to be, decent. Well, they had to be okay. But
garbage.
They're garbage, though. I'm going to tell you why. They don't play anybody. See, Notre Dame, they have they're in like this independent type of conference or whatever. Let's just say, compared to the SEC, they got like a Division II schedule. Like a really good Division II schedule. What I mean by that is they beat Vanderbilt by less than a touchdown. Less than a touchdown. Okay? And Vanderbilt is compared to the Vanderbilt, they're at the bottom of the SEC. The bottom. Like that way. All right? See, UGA is that way. And so for you to play the only team you play in our conference that literally all the other good teams beat the shit out of, and for you to barely beat them and you to be competing for the national championship is completely disrespectful. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree.
So you barely beat our trash, but you're competing for the championship over. See, now they went undefeated. But do you remember what happened last time they went undefeated? Do you remember, Slim?
Yeah, they got blown out.
Yes. Monte Te'o was out. Their number one linebacker got catfished. That's how lame Notre Dame is. Okay? When your starting linebacker gets catfished, that means your whole team full of lames. There ain't no way you're going to win a championship when your leader is getting catfished. All right, this is even before social networks blew up. This is when social networks were like, they weren't where they are today.
Correct.
And you got catfished. Man, get out of here. And y'all got blown out. So my question is, why or you all provided another opportunity to get your ass kicked. Because that's really what's going to happen. Matter of fact, the only reason why y'all might not get your ass kicked is because you're playing Clemson, and Clemson got a freshman starting at quarterback. That's the only reason why y'all might not get blown out. But if you were playing Georgia, if you were playing Oklahoma, if you were playing Alabama, there will be it will be a beatdown.
Okay, Blue. So, what would you like the top 4 to be?
I would like the top 4 to be Alabama, number 1, Georgia, number 2, because of course those are the best teams in the country. All right, and Oklahoma, number 3. Or Clemson. It's really a head toss because both of those are good teams. I mean, you can either one. It really don't matter. But Georgia got snubbed, and people, it's crazy because when I watch ESPN and I watch these dudes who never played football before talk about football, and they talk about how basically if Georgia were to be in, they would be in over Oklahoma. Dude, I don't know if y'all watching the same thing I'm watching, but Oklahoma's a way better team than Notre Dame. Like I said, it's still a chance Notre Dame might get blown out. I would not be surprised if they got blown out. They barely beat Ball State.
I'm saying though, dog. So
Ball State's a D2.
A team gets no credit for being undefeated.
It depends on who you play, man.
The schedule.
It depends. Yes, you can't. Yo, would you put I mean, don't get me wrong. It's tough to go undefeated in college football. But when everybody you play is worse than everybody I play, why do you get an opportunity before me? Wouldn't you agree on that?
I do agree.
That's all I'm saying.
So how would you change the system?
Yo, we need to I want to see the best play. All I'm saying is,
you want Notre Dame to play more?
I don't want Notre
SEC
Dame
teams.
what I'm saying is I don't want Notre Dame to be in the play. No one should bring Notre Dame had their chance. They got their ass beat by 40. They should never get a chance again. Seriously. Because we know what's going to happen. They're not going to win. Why are they in the playoffs if you know they're not going to win? Like, what is the point of the playoffs is to provide a team with the opportunity to win. Anyone with any IQ at all, like even if you don't watch football, if I told you, hey, this team, the last time they went undefeated, they played this team, they got beat by 40. You think they're going to win the championship this year? Come on, man. Like, Notre Dame has no chance in winning this year, next year. Notre Dame will never win. With the way this system's constructed now, they will never win a championship again. They need to go ahead and get their little bowl game, play somebody else that's like like at the bottom of the SEC or the bottom of like whatever conference, get their little easy W, walk around campus with their rings and say we got big rings, we win championships. You know, they need to just enjoy that because they will not ever win a national championship again.
But Blue, to me, it sounds like there's a scheduling issue. So therefore, Notre Dame needs to play more teams so we can see if they deserve that. So next year, the committee needs to get together and make better schedules, correct?
Exactly. And I agree with you 100%, but they won't do that. They won't, because they know that if they play a better schedule, they won't go undefeated. So the way that they will construct their team, they will pick a team who has a good ranking for, beginning of the year, but they know they really ain't shit. They just got a good ranking. And they might beat that one team. And everybody else is cupcakes. Everyone else is just regular teams. Like, you gotta realize when you playing football in the South, when you in the SEC, you have dogs that you're automatically gonna play every single year. You know you got some dogs every year. But when you playing for one of these other schools that basically get to make their own schedule and they got like a week conference anyway, you just schedule a bunch of cupcakes, have a really nice record, and basically walk your way into the playoffs, knowing that I don't even know why you want to go to the playoffs and you know you finna get beat anyway. I don't get it. What's the point?
So, how you feel about this playoff system?
I think the playoff system's cool. Look, I think I like it. I just wish that they put teams in there who actually had a chance to win. Notre Dame doesn't have a chance to win, and I got $1,000. If Notre Dame's win the championship, I got $1,000 for anybody. All right, but
What's the time frame?
fucking ever.
So when the hell you gonna get your $1,000? I'll take that bet because I ain't got shit to lose.
For every year that they don't win, go ahead and did they get in the playoffs? Just give me that rack. But I'm finna go over their schedule real quick. The best teams that they played, I think it says right here they played Syracuse, which is ranked number 12. Let's be serious. Syracuse is in New York. Who plays football? Who plays football in New York?
Shit.
Who plays football in New York?
Them some city boys there.
Exactly. City boys. Who play football? Country boys. All right, move on. The second toughest team on their schedule, Michigan. I think Michigan's overrated. I think Michigan one of them schools, they got a bunch of money, they get to promote a lot, and they get to hype themselves up for more than what they are. And they barely beat Michigan by 7 points. All right, they barely beat them. Let's talk about their wins. They beat Vanderbilt by 5 points. Dude, it's high schools out here that can beat Vanderbilt by 5 points. All right, I'm exaggerating. I don't mean that. But what I'm saying is, Vanderbilt's at the bottom of the SEC. The bottom. And they barely beat them. What did Georgia do against against Vanderbilt? What did Georgia do? Tell me. It wasn't close at all. It wasn't close. Vanderbilt could barely move the ball. But they almost beat Notre Dame. All right. Does that make sense to you? Does that make sense to you?
I know exactly what you mean.
Ball State. I didn't even know Ball State was D1 single A. I thought they were D1 double A. I think someone needs to double check because I seriously think Ball State is D1 double A. I don't think they're single A. But if they are single A, then if I think they're D1 double A, but they're D1 single A, that says a lot about their program. They're not a legit Division I contender.
Garbage.
They're garbage. Okay? Just going down their schedule. They beat Pittsburgh by 5 points. Pittsburgh. Are you serious? They beat Pittsburgh by 5 points. Enough said. Let's move on. They beat is that Northwestern? They beat them by 10 points. Who are they? That's all I'm saying. I never heard of these people before.
Bro, it sounds like they playing the community college.
They're basically playing a bunch of JUCOs, and they're scheduled like that every year. Now, one thing I'm going to say about their players got a lot of confidence because they got a lot of W's, but they're not playing anybody. That's what I'm saying. If they get the hell beat out them by Clemson, they do not deserve to ever be in contention for the national championship again.
All right, Blue. Now,
ever.
What's your prediction?
I think that, like I said, Clemson got a freshman starting at quarterback. He is from Georgia, so I'm going to give him some credit because he's from Georgia. But he's a freshman. So, I know they're going to win because it's Notre Dame. All right. I think that they'll win by maybe 2 touchdowns, but they should beat them by at least 3 to 4 touchdowns. It shouldn't even be close because it's, like I said, it's Notre Dame.
So who you got in the championship?
Everyone. I mean, now that Georgia's not playing in the championship, you pretty much going hand just give it to Nick Saban. You know what I mean? Everyone knows he's gonna win.
Easy, not a doubt in your mind.
This is what I want to say. That quarterback for Oklahoma he the real deal. That offense is the real deal. If anybody can beat Nick Saban, it's in the playoffs, it's him. That's the only chance at all. The absolutely only chance. You think about what dual threat quarterbacks the issues that Alabama has against them. The last one that lit them up was Deshaun Watson. You see what he's doing in the NFL, and I think this guy is actually better than Deshaun Watson. I think he's a little more electrifying. I think he's a little more athletic. I think he's more got a little more sauce. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's Alabama. You know what I mean? It's Alabama. That's all. It's Nick Saban. It's Alabama. So, I think Alabama gonna win. You know what I mean?
Well,
but it's gonna be either Alabama or Oklahoma. That's what I'm gonna say. Clemson ain't got a chance because they got a freshman starting. Notre Dame never ever had a chance, ever. So that's why I'm gonna leave it at that.
well, there you have it. They need to do something about this damn system. It sounds like. So it can be clear cut. But one thing I will tell you is there's not a system intact in America, because that's your shit. In America, that has a unflawed system, a flawless. I mean,
Straight facts.
So it's gonna always be gaps in it, because y'all was complaining before this playoff system started. Now you have this playoff system, you're still complaining.
I'm only complaining because.
Do you want it to go up more teams?
No, I just want. Come on now. I just want to see the best teams play. Everyone in the world.
Are you biased because you're a Georgia fan?
Yes. Extremely. That's why you know it hits home. You know what I mean?
That's just real.
That's why you know it hits home.
That's just real. Dog. So, why'd you say no about having more teams?
I mean, all right, here's the thing. The way the bowl system works, a lot of teams like Notre Dame, who never ever get a chance to win the ring, they get in those bowl games, they have those 500, 600 seasons, and they get a chance to feel like they accomplished something. You go in there, you went 7-5, you know you're not going to win that championship, but guess what? You got a bowl game around the corner. And you can beat this other team that went 6-4 and walk around with this fat ring on campus, play that Drake song, got big rings, and you can live that life.
What's up with you and this big ring shit?
It's all about the rings, man. It's all about the rings.
Kiss the rings, bitch.
All about the rings. But, you know, I want to say, don't get me wrong, because if you put one thing about college football versus any other sport in the world, including the NFL, including college basketball and the NBA, it's so competitive because, like UGA, you can't really afford to lose a game, and that's what makes college football exciting, because UGA is already counting a loss. You know what I mean? Like, hey,
yeah.
we're more than likely we're gonna lose at least one game. You know what I'm saying? Like, straight up. So they gotta play balls to walls every single week. They got to, because a lot of teams you just can't afford to take a loss in college football, because if you lose more than one game, you're done. Like, UGA might be arguably the best team in college football this year, but because of that L they took versus LSU and versus Alabama, who's basically, you know, just as good as the Cleveland Browns on a good day. You know what I mean? But because they took that L to, you know, an SEC team and an NFL team in Alabama, because they took, you know, like I said, they're playing basically NFL competition. But because they took those two L's, and one of them being Alabama, who's only won half of the national championships in the last 10 years, they will not be afforded an opportunity to compete for the national championship, even though they were up. And as detrimental that is to UGA, is great for college football, because, like I said, they it's so competitive because you have no room for errors.
Correct. I'm gonna be honest with you though, dog. I've always hated college football.
Okay.
Um,
Why you hate college football?
because they just look like some little kids, some amateurs, and I don't rock with the rules, dog. I don't rock with none of it, dog. Like, and then you rarely get a good game,
Are you serious?
bro. You rarely get a good game.
Who has
dog.
more overtimes than college football?
I'm saying like matchup wise. In NFL, it's professional. You get a good game every week.
Facts.
College football, you rarely get a good game, bro.
But think about the good games you do get in college football.
Like you just said earlier, though, it's a scheduling issue.
Facts.
Teams like Notre Dame should be going against other good teams often.
Facts.
It shouldn't be we playing all these goddamn scrubs a whole fucking season
And
never
we're barely
get to play
beating
one
half
game.
the scrubs we're playing, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying, bro. That's my only issue with college football.
I got you. You know, everybody can't be great, especially on a level that's not considered professional. What I want to say is that when you watching, I was listening to Steve Harvey, all right, before the national championship on the radio last year.
Boo. I hate Steve Harvey.
We'll get to that later. What I want to say is I was listening to Steve Harvey on the radio, and Steve Harvey said something smart. They were like, someone asked him a question. They said, do you think the game is going to go down to the wire? You know what Steve Harvey said?
What?
Don't they always?
Oh, hell, I smell a conspiracy theory coming.
No, not even that. It's not even that. It's just that these college football games, these big games, a lot of times the win is like those games go down to the wire. You feel me? Like Deshaun Watson back to back against Alabama. Those games went down. Those games were decided within the last 2 minutes of the game. UGA when they played Alabama last week, that game went down to the last 2 minutes. That game was decided within the last 2 minutes of that game. And what I'm saying is you get more of that in college football than you do in any other sport.
That's true. I will give you that at the highest stage. But if you think about it, the Super Bowl, they do the same thing most of the time.
Yeah, you're right.
It's a small percentage of the times where the games aren't close in the Super Bowl. And I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm probably wrong. I can't remember as far back. Let me think. What's the last game that wasn't close at all? Like at all?
I could tell you what's game not gonna be close. I don't know about the last game, but I tell you, whoever when Notre Dame played Clemson, it's not gonna be a close game. We're gonna know who's gonna win by the third quarter.
And you gave it a 2 touchdown point spread?
Yes, at least.
How many points would you give on a bet against that? Someone that tried to take Notre Dame against Clemson. How many points would you give them? Because you confident now.
I am confident.
10 points. Would you give 10 points?
The only thing I'm not confident about, like I said, the quarterback is from Georgia. So I believe on him. I believe in him because he's from Georgia. Georgia got the best talent. I don't care what nobody say. Well, that's a different topic. I don't care what nobody say. Georgia got the best talent. You see what Cam Newton did to Auburn. They sucked before he went there. They won a championship when he got there.
But Blue, you're kind of biased because you're from Georgia and you're a Georgia fan.
First of all, okay, you're right. You're absolutely right. But you're right.
That's your real now.
But what I'm saying is true though.
Correct.
They got a Georgia boy starting that quarterback in South Carolina because he's from Georgia because we the best. You know what I'm saying? Like we just stacked over here. But so some of our guys go other places. But so that's the only. But he, like I said, so they still might blow him out because they got him. But at the same time, he's a freshman. So a freshman playing in the playoffs, competing for a national championship. All I'm saying is he might get a couple butterflies. I'm not sure. I'm not a Clemson fan, so I'm not sure exactly how elite he is. You know. But I know they're gonna win. That's what I do know. Like, there's no way Notre Dame's gonna beat Clemson. That's what I do know.
Well, therefore you have it. That's Blue's pick. Blue got the hot pick, so go to Vegas and take your bets now. Blue has spoken.